Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MicroOnda podcast, the show that proudly brings you top music, news, and more. Here are your hosts, Cero Mundo, Johnny Quest, and M.A. the Engineer. Solo en el MicroOnda.
Yo, live from Washington, D.C., it is the MicroOnda show. I'm your host, Cero Mundo, with Johnny Quest and M.A. Engineer Room. What's good, everybody? How y'all feeling? How y'all living?
Yo, what's up? What's
going on?
Yeah, we got a great show for y'all today. This is episode 3, I believe.
3. What we gonna call this show? I'm gonna call this the MA Engineer show.
Yeah.
Since we're introducing our engineer today.
Yeah. We had a great show last week with Paquito. Shout out to Paquito. Chico. Yeah, and we are live. What's going on, everybody? How was everybody's weekend?
Good, man. I can't complain. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Just, same old, just chilling.
All right. Anything exciting going on?
Actually, I saw this movie called Loving today.
Okay.
That was a real good movie. It's about interracial marriage and against the law, and it's down in Virginia.
Oh wow.
Pretty good flick. But just goes to show we haven't come that far with all that hate and stuff going on.
Where'd you see it at?
Silver Spring, the Majestic Theater.
Oh, at the Majestic?
Majestic.
Not the AFI one?
No, Majestic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the indie film?
It's not an indie film, but I think it's in limited release now. It
Okay.
did go through the whole film circuit,
Okay.
Yeah, but it's
Anyone important in it? Like anyone? Big
Anyone recognize?
It's this Irish actor. It's either Irish or Welsh. Did you see the movie with Tom Hardy when they were like the whole MMA thing? They were, it was a
Never Back Down or something like that.
No, that wasn't never. It was like Nick Nolte was his dad. He would train both of them, and
I think I've seen that.
so it was like the guy was in that movie. I forget
Okay.
his name, but it was a good movie, man.
All right. Cool.
What about you, Cero?
Let's see. Friday went out. Saturday went to go see a comedy club.
What'd you go see?
Nobody important, but I went to the Arlington Draft House.
Okay.
So they had improv shows. I never really seen the improv, never participated, but it was cool. Like I recommend it. So.
Other than DC Improv, is that the only stand-up place there is, or?
Well, DC Improv is obviously the most famous comedy club.
Yeah. 'Cause everybody
But
knows it.
Arlington Draft House, I think, is coming up. They're starting bringing comedians there.
But there's only 2 comedy clubs in the DC area, right?
Well, there used to be another one on.
There used to be one in Laurel.
Yeah, there used to be one in Laurel.
Is that one closed?
Yeah, that one's closed.
Okay. Then there used to be Teddy's House of Comedy over on I Street. That didn't
Yeah.
last very long.
Okay.
I think that's closed.
And there was another one right here on. I want to say was it here on 14th Street or no 16th Street?
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the name and stuff. And I've been there. I can't remember the name, but I know there's another spot there.
There's a lot of pop-up, comedy spots. I know Virginia has a whole.
Yeah.
I think in Boston Commons Mall they have the
I
comedy
seen
troupe
something
thing
there.
inside there.
Yeah.
Was it local acts that you?
Yeah, they were local acts.
Okay.
And stuff. They did a good job and stuff.
Really?
So improv show, basically what they do is kind of like that show with Drew Carey. Remember?
I
can't remember the name.
where they act out and stuff like that.
Yeah, whose line is it? Yeah. So what they do is they'll ask the crowds all right, name a line from a movie, and so they write a piece of paper and they ask name characters, name people in a movie or a certain action or whatever things people do. So then they put the piece of paper on written down what the action or whatever. So then they invite the comedian guys to come in, and they got to play out from whatever was written down and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, so it's it was entertaining and stuff. It was dope.
So how'd you guys think about the election?
Well, not surprised.
Not surprised,
I'm not
really?
surprised, yeah.
Wait, why was that?
Why? Well, we got. I'm not surprised because I feel like it was like Trump. He did not come into this game as a regular.
Like a politician.
Yeah, politician, whatnot. So he came into this game as a brand because that's what he is and stuff.
Yeah.
We don't even call him Donald and stuff. You know what I mean? We call him to Trump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and that's a brand. It's basically a brand. So, and I feel like a brand and marketing of things is if you show it a lot, repeat it a lot, and it's triggers certain things. Like Trump in business, a lot of people they study how to hypnotize people and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like same thing with restaurants. You go to a restaurant, their logo is a certain color because there are studies that they know that these colors will make you hungry. That's why like McDonald's, Burger King, they're all yellow, bright colors and things like that. Those are colors that trigger your mind to get hungry. So Trump, he did the same thing. He used that strategy to hypnotize the people, and at the same time, he marketed into crowds that have been ignored, which has been the poor white man and stuff. So poor white man has been ignored. So he went into these places where, a Hillary campaign and stuff, they automatically, it's like, all right, we know we're going to win that. We know that. And she ignored certain places and stuff. So her money was not spent
But do you
well.
think is like that the white man's been ignored, or do you think that, like now I feel like we live in more of a time where if you see like propaganda, like you see commercials and stuff like that, they kind of make fun of the white man.
Right,
Don't you
that's
feel
true.
like I don't know. I just feel like maybe that's
Well, no, hold on. Let me be clear. Not the white man's been ignored. The poor white man.
well. You gotta keep in mind too. A lot of rich people who voted for Trump too.
Yeah, there
So,
are,
I
of
mean,
course. There are, but the ones that gave him, who helped him out,
Yeah, okay.
the majority is the poor,
'cause
because
you
there's
see
not
the
a lot
rural
of
people.
rich
Yeah, yeah,
people in
I
this
see.
country.
Yeah, like his votes came from a lot of rural areas.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And if you travel across this country and you see all these cities, it's majority rural, and there's not enough. You don't see minorities, people of different
So
races.
to answer the question, was I surprised? Yes, I was surprised
It
only
was
because
shocking. Yeah.
you know, for weeks they've been telling you otherwise. Like the
Yeah.
polls are showing you, okay, she's up.
Yeah.
CNN's telling you, oh, his chances to win are not very high.
Yeah.
You have, commentators who are saying, well, a lot of things have to go right in order for him to win.
Yeah.
But like when you look at, I guess, who turned out to vote for him, like you're saying, it
Right.
was the rural person
Right.
who's been ignored, who
Yeah.
hasn't, politicians haven't been in touch with them. I think that his camp did a better job of getting out his base
Right. Yeah.
and touching the voters that he needed to touch.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe her camp, she should have fired him now, but her camp didn't do as good a job and maybe
Yeah.
took it for granted, expecting to get the same, what they call the Obama coalition, saying, well, I'm going to get the same voters Obama got. You can't take that for granted.
Right.
So,
But I think the media they played a big part into this because
absolutely.
they, like, if you look at Bernie, was obviously the popular candidate. He was the one that was growing and stuff. But the media, like, I even saw these dudes like on your Good Morning Americas. They automatically they gave a different interview to Bernie compared to Hillary. Like,
But how much is that? It's because she's a girl.
huh?
How much is it? Is that like her being a woman?
Well, yeah, that could play into effect as well. But I think when you look at, if you go back, look at the way how these folks were interviewed, you'll notice that they attack Bernie and market him, oh, he's a socialist and stuff. So they automatically created that fear. So people were automatically fearful and doubtful, even though he brought.
He had a huge following.
Yeah, he
man.
had
Yeah.
a huge following. I feel like if he would have ran against Trump, I think he would have won.
Yeah.
But because also keep in mind that a lot of Trump followers came from the Bernie camp.
Yeah.
No, I hear you, but at the end of the day, you have to look at the message that Trump used and what worked for him, which was it brought out a lot of hatred in people, and the white vote really was strong for him, and we like always have to keep in mind, like I think Bernie is a great person. I love his message, but he's also Jewish. Which I think
There's fear
would have
of-
you know what I mean, would
Yeah.
have probably
Nah.
backfired a bit on him.
I think I don't not necessarily. I don't think him being Jewish would have affected anything. It's just the fact that like he's saying that he was painted as a socialist
Yeah,
for his views of like free college and marijuana and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They just thought because if you think about it, Trump and Bernie kind of went the same direction as like kind of like the fuck the system kind of direction.
Yeah.
But
The only difference is that the one is extreme left and the other
The
is
other one's
extreme
really
right
right.
and stuff.
And
because when the Democratic Party did Bernie, like he screwed him over pretty good. Everyone was like, fuck
Yeah.
that shit. I'll just support Trump.
Yeah.
'Cause he's kind of
one thing that's been pissing me off about this whole after the election is seeing the protests in the cities. And I'm not saying that it's wrong to go and protest if you feel a certain way, you want to be heard. But I want to ask people, are you out here and did you actually vote? Because I'm like, you feel this way, you're so strong about it.
So,
What's done is done. You coming out here protesting isn't going to change a fucking thing. But
I don't even think people should go out and protest. I don't think so.
To a certain extent.
No,
to a certain, you know why? Because I think within protests, it's easy to send infiltrators there and turn that protest into something else.
Kind of like
True.
what they did in Venezuela.
Huh?
What they did in Venezuela.
Yeah, with that, with what they did with the what was the protest that they did in New York with Wall Street, the Occupy.
The Occupy joint,
Yeah, so they obviously send infiltrators in there. So you send the wrong people to these protests, they could turn it into something nasty and stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why sometimes I don't agree with protest unless you got to send a group of people that's organized and know how to control those crowds because the crowds can turn into something else.
I don't know. I just feel like most of these guys that are protesting are young kids.
Yeah.
but at CNN even panel, they asked like one of the reporters asked this young guy, "You're out here protesting. Did you vote?" And the guy's like, "No." So what the fuck are you out here protesting for? You shouldn't even have a voice.
Yeah. Well,
you didn't even take time to go to the booth to vote.
Right, that's true. And now this is the thing though, that you got a lot of these people that they were under the impression that they only had two candidates to choose for. The two other candidates were ignored. So you got to remember, a lot of these folks out here,
A lot of people stayed home.
They're ignorant. Yeah, they were afraid to go protest. They were afraid that, there could have been drive-bys. There was fear. This presidential campaign was created out of fear and stuff. So that's how I look at it. So.
Yeah, I had a conversation with someone that I know that voted for Trump, and they're like, the first thing he's going to do, he's going to build the wall. I said, really? So I said, well, who's going to pay for it?
Mexico.
Well, Mexico's going to pay for it. I said, how would that benefit Mexico? Well, why would they pay for it? Well, he's going to make them. I said, you have to be realistic. You can't make another country do anything.
Right.
And what benefit is it to Mexico to build this wall?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. It's crazy. I know some Trump supporters, straight up. I know,
he made it cool to be racist. Honestly, let's call it how it is.
Yeah, but this is nothing new. And another thing that I look at the protesters is that a lot of them is young. They grew up with Obama as a president, 8 years and stuff.
True.
You know what I mean? So this is what they know, the hope, the change and whatever. But they forget how they weren't around what we saw with the Clinton administration. Clinton administration were the first ones to build a wall. They were the first ones to create a fence.
For what?
Huh?
On the border?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. Look it up. Who was the first one to create it?
I'm a pro Clinton person, man. So.
But also to keep in mind that this generation of kids that are growing up are kind of like the kids have been handed everything.
Yeah.
So, they grew up in the generation where you go play sport, everything's
Right.
a trophy.
Right. Participation trophies.
They don't know what it is to feel lost.
To fight and stuff.
Or to lose.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, that's why when Trump wins and their candidate doesn't take
Yeah.
it personally, it's like, no,
Right.
I'm not used to losing.
Yeah.
I need to do something about
Yeah.
this. It's just kind of stupid.
That's true. But now here's the thing that I did find shocking is I would think that a lot of these women would not want to vote for Trump. So if a woman voted for Trump, does that mean it's okay to go grab their pussy?
Let's test that theory. I'll bail you out.
Or go visit you in Colombia.
I'll test that theory. No, I'm kidding.
So it's like you would think that and a lot of apparently these women they wanted a rich guy there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or most of them are Republican, and there's a lot of. But also keep in mind, there's 29% of Latinos that voted for Trump.
Yeah.
So what does that say about the divide in, especially in our community?
Right.
You know, like I don't know, because for me, like how I feel, it's like yeah, I'm all for like I don't want people deported,
Uh-huh.
but at the same time, like it's just okay. Like someone comes, okay, we're gonna deport whatever 11 million immigrants, but there's nobody on the other side saying, okay, no, we can't. Let's not do this. Here's a different way of doing this. Let's
Right.
do it
Nobody has
better,
presented
like,
the
yeah.
actual idea
So
and
it's
stuff.
like the immigration issue, like being Latin or Southern, like Central American, it's kind of like a divide in there because it's like, okay, let's at least help the immigrants that are here, but what do we do to fix the immigration, like the whole like getting them here legally or whatever, like how do we fix that situation so people don't get deported?
Right.
I think that the way to go would be like instill some sort of like a guest worker program. I mean, you have people that are here. Obviously, if you make them feel like they're okay, like you're not gonna get rid of them. Obviously, like let's be honest. At the end of the day, it's cheap labor, right? And you need it.
Yeah.
Like if you're a businessman, you own a farm, you own a company, like. You know, it's part of the system.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously these are where some people start out as cheap labor and then they prosper and, you know, move on. But at the end of the day, like in order for our economy to function, I think you need it.
Yeah.
Like if you go to the grocery store, I don't know, you pick up a tomato, you can get 2-3 tomatoes for like $2, right? You no longer have the worker that you pay them what they get paid.
Right.
And now you're ending up paying $5 for those tomatoes. Like at the end of the day, people are going to be livid about that.
Right. Right.
You know, so you can't just kick these people out of the country. You just can't.
Well,
So I think a guest worker program is the way to go.
But now we saw that Trump kind of went back on what he said about deporting people.
Yeah, and Obamacare.
And Obamacare.
yeah.
So it's like
He's kind of hypocritical because
well, I don't think it's hypocritical. I feel like he played
He played into what people wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Now that he's elected, now
he's like, you know what?
yeah,
Let's do
he
it like
can't
this.
do it and stuff.
But-
Because I don't know if y'all saw y'all saw the Jay-Z Beyonce concert that they did for Hillary.
I didn't watch it.
Okay, well, I want to say it was in Ohio and stuff that during the Jay-Z and Beyonce tour, you know, that they had Big Sean open up and J. Cole, and during the performance, Hillary came out. You know, this was like 2 nights before the election. You know, she came out and talked her speech or whatever. So supposedly, allegedly, I don't know. You're gonna have to fact check that. She paid like $42 million so that she could talk in front of this crowd or whatever and stuff, you know. But and the whole thing was that, you know, the songs, the music that, you know, these artists create, there's a lot of like curse words, you know, talking, you know, certain, you know, stuff that, you know, we understand what it is, and they're artists and music, they do a reflection, right? But then Trump came out saying, well, that was a lot of like dirty language that they came. I don't even know if you call that singing or talking or what. So it's already, he's like, how is he talking bad about rap, but yet you had Lil Jon on Celebrity Apprentice. You were on Method Man's album. You were interviewed by 50 Cent. So it's like, now you don't know what rap is? You know what I'm saying?
And hell, he had support from Ice Cube, Sean Combs,
yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. Russell Simmons was his buddy back in the day. They're both from Queens. They're both in the same circles and things like that. You know what I mean? So there's obviously some kind of mental issue going on. I think he has some kind of mental health or something like that. Dude's 70 years old. 70. You know how old Bernie Sanders is?
Should be 68, I think. Or 60.
No, Bernie Sanders is 74. 4 years old.
And
But it's crazy because
she's 69, I think.
who,
Hillary,
yeah,
she's 69.
yeah.
So they're all up there.
Yeah, they're all up there and stuff. But, you know, so it's like, I don't know, that you know, I think their mind, it's just weird that it's like he says one thing, then another thing. So it's a conflict of interest.
I think he just played to what people wanted to hear.
Yeah,
They were just saying
yeah.
that he was just, you know, he just like, because even think about it, he never really said what he was going to do when he was in office. He just kept rambling or whatever. And then, and that's what, now that he's, you know, he's going back on a few things. He's like, you know what, let's rethink this, let's do this or whatever. And I don't know, you know, maybe like I'm not, it's 4 years, you know, next election we can.
Kanye West.
There you go.
He already announced, he's like, he's official stuff.
No, I think
At least we'll have
a
a
name to
as a
look
first
out
lady.
for is Cory Booker.
Cory
so?
Booker.
from New Jersey,
Alright.
senator.
Yeah, I think I heard about him stuff. I think my folks talked about
Very
him.
eloquent speaker, very smart.
Yeah,
But definitely need new blood and
Right.
someone that can be in touch with the community.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know,
yeah,
at the end of the day, and all communities, not just one community,
Yeah.
not just one race.
right.
You know,
But how'd you guys feel personally after you find
Yeah.
out?
Like everybody else.
after I
couldn't sleep.
cursed a bunch, you know, afterwards, you know, after a day, I said to myself, well, gotta be positive, gotta be optimistic. He's gonna lead this nation. You know, hopefully, I think for me, what I hope this does is wakes people up, makes people pay attention more to, you know, politics, their
History.
communities, everything. And what's gonna come of this? Like that's what I was asking myself. Like if you don't bitch about it and just bitch, you know, don't
Right,
bitch to
right.
bitch.
Yeah.
But if you bitch about it, if you feel a certain way, do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like make
Participate and
changes.
stuff. Right, right. Be part of that social group. Boycott the companies
You know,
that
get out here,
vouch and stuff.
be involved in your community.
Right.
You know, make sure that if you feel a certain way, you disagree with him. You know, start paving the way for the next election,
Right.
where you can instill some sort of change to get people out and
Yeah.
get the word out to vote. You
Yeah.
know, like just don't sit at home and bitch and whine when you see him come on
Right,
television.
right.
Because it's not going to do anything.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's true shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
That's true.
Yeah, people definitely got to be more socially involved, talking to communities and everything. So who knows? We'll see what happens.
we'll see what happens.
All I know is that inauguration in D.C. is gonna be crazy. It's on a Friday night. You know, a lot of people is gonna come into town,
Fucking protesting.
huh?
There's gonna be a lot of fucking protesting.
Protests. You're gonna have. I wouldn't be surprised if the Klan shows up, and not the Wu Tang.
How
You know
about
what I mean?
that?
That's wild and scary,
Mm.
man. These folks is gonna be eating in the same restaurants, nightclubs.
If they do
things like
come,
that.
it's they have the freedom to express
Right,
themselves
right.
and
Oh, they've already
demonstrate,
started.
just like everyone else.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
They today a church in Silver Spring.
I heard about
You
that.
heard about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
No, what happened?
It was a Latino
Yeah,
church
Latino
in
church,
Silver
Hispanic
Spring,
church.
Maryland. Like they tore down half of the sign.
They
Trump
say like
signs or-
iglesia en español. and
Yes.
stuff. Hacemos la misa en español.
Yeah.
They tore that down.
They tore
Yeah.
it down half of the sign and spray painted
That's stupid.
Trump Nation.
Trump Nation, whites only.
Hold on. Someone else did that. They
Yeah.
didn't do it.
No,
Not the
no.
church.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like, I thought, okay.
Yeah,
No, yeah, some
shit,
some
Yeah.
fucking coward
Yo,
did
and
it.
this is like in a community because
That's
my
in-
mom
out
lives
in-
in
out
that
Maryland?
area.
15 minutes, 20 minutes from here.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yo, it's like Langley Park there, basically.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Damn.
You drive, yo, all you see is like gente Latina, Africana,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, yo.
It's just ignorance, man.
Yeah. yeah.
Where's that coming from though? It's like, but you gotta keep in mind too, Maryland's like, there's part, like if you go farther like into Silver Spring stuff like that, there's a lot of rural areas out
Oh,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like,
Majority of Maryland is
Yeah.
Virginia too and stuff. This
Oh,
is the
yeah.
South, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
This is the South.
Yeah. This is the
That's
South.
crazy.
You be surprised, yo. I've seen a lot of Trump signs and stuff. Yo, honestly, this campaign, I can honestly say I've seen more Trump signs than Clinton signs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
You don't let. Well, first of all, like if people think racism, a lot of times Alabama pops in their head, Mississippi.
right.
You do not have to go that far,
Yeah, you
man,
don't.
Not
at
at all.
all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yo, in the 80s, the Klan, the KKK, they used to be in Rockville. This used to come on the news. This was normal.
Damn,
They had a base in Rockville.
it's crazy.
You know what I mean?
And I think, see, that's the only thing that at the end of the day, like I disagree with the whole Trump campaign. Is it just brought, like I said, it made it cool to be a fucking racist,
Right,
You know,
right.
and so now they're out. Man, at least you'll know how people feel, and they're telling you to their face. And
Yeah.
I'd rather have that than somebody doing it behind your back. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
That's
So,
true.
It's kind of weird because so it's like you got like blanquito, el americano, and el gringo. You know what I mean? They're in fear if they live in a community that's of diversity and stuff. Well, a Latino that lives in a rural area,
Right.
or a black person lives in a rural area, they're living in that opposite fear as well and stuff. So it works both ways and stuff. It's sad, and honestly, my prayer go to the children that is watching this stuff. You know how, imagine you're in 4th grade and you're watching this stuff. You're like, you go confused. You don't, I have no idea how that
hate is
that
taught.
learning. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Hate is taught.
Yeah,
that's crazy though, man.
because hate is taught and stuff. That's not something that's inherited and stuff. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So my prayers go out to them and stuff. You know what I mean.
Yeah, man.
On a brighter note,
Yeah.
man. What else can we
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about instead of that
Sorry.
stuff, man? Next subject.
So did you see the Chappelle thing last night?
Yeah. Saw it.
What'd you think?
Well, I saw this morning stuff. Chappelle did a great intro thing. That Hillary piano thing was good. I think that was dedicated
Yeah,
to a
opened up.
singer. Yeah,
That's how they opened up, with her playing the piano.
right. But the song of that piano, the Hallelujah song, that's
Yeah.
from an artist that recently passed away.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was it was a good tribute, and it was good. It was a different show. You could
It
obviously
was a
tell they were
different
shocked.
show.
Yeah.
Especially he did a lot of stand up. Like
Yeah,
in between
yeah.
segments, he was doing a lot
It
of
was a
stand
long
up.
intro stand
So
up.
what do you think though? What do you think of Chappelle though?
Great. Oh, I love Chappelle stuff.
Makes me curious, like if this is like a stepping stone for him to come back into the public to start doing, maybe start up the Chappelle show or even start doing stand up again.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause
Well, he has been doing stand up.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
in smaller clubs and like, and then I know
Well,
he
no,
did
I
that
think
one big.
He
at,
did some big event recently.
Yeah, he did it for 4 days, and all 4 days were sold out.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I'd like to see him again, like as far
Yeah,
as doing a
yeah,
Chappelle
yeah.
show. At least, I mean, now because I know the only reason why he stopped doing it was because he couldn't come to an agreement with Comedy Central,
Mhm.
but now like since we live in this era now that we have Netflix, Hulu, and like whatever, he can just sign with one of them and just be like, look, I want to do
Right.
the Chappelle show, and easily he can make
But
shitload
wouldn't
of money.
I wonder if Comedy Central owns the rights to the show?
I don't think so because that's the thing. That's another reason why he quit, because he had creative rights to the Chappelle show, and when Comedy Central came to him was like, hey, we want this show to go this direction. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then like, well, we're not going to renew you for another season if you don't. So now he's like, fuck it, then I won't.
Yeah.
You know. So that's why he like everything he like how the Chappelle show ended was pretty much saying a big fuck you to Comedy
Right.
Central.
Right.
Yeah, man. I mean, with digital distribution nowadays,
Well,
like
yeah.
Well, yeah,
It's easy.
Chappelle's been revolutionary because if you think about it, he could have gone the acting way, but he didn't. He was real strict on the roles that he did acting stuff. If you think about it, the only movie he started in was Half Baked, right? But
Yeah,
then
but he wrote that, so
and
Right.
Nutty Professor.
yeah, he
no,
had
but
like
he wasn't the
Yeah, he had a
star.
small-
in-
no, he had a
has-
small
and he
role
was,
in
I
it.
think, in
But
like
he also
Sleepless
talked about
in
and
Seattle or something like that.
Blue Streak with
Right.
Martin Lawrence.
And then he was also in, like Sleepless in Seattle,
I don't remember him in
or
that.
You Got Mail, one of those movies.
He was actually in Boys in the Hood. He had a
Yeah.
non-speaking role. Did you know that?
Nah.
you know,
Yeah, there's
I
a
gotta go back
scene.
and watch that movie.
There's a scene when Lawrence Fishburne is talking to like all the young
Oh,
bangers.
yeah,
And
where
there's
he's
a
talking
sign
about the
out, and he's talking about
gentrification stuff.
gentrification and
Right,
real
right,
estate.
right.
Chappelle has on like a baseball cap, and he's just nodding his head.
Yeah.
Yes, go back and watch it. You're
Yeah,
peeping
yeah,
in that scene. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like he can make a big comeback if because I feel like he's coming out more as far as public. Like
Yeah.
he's been in the public eye a little bit more. But yeah, I feel like he can.
I think
he can do
he's
it.
gonna focus more on, like, he might do more festival things and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
He's gonna do something revolutionary.
Yeah, but
You know.
he also did say that he didn't like Hollywood as far as acting went
Mhm.
because of how they portrayed or the roles black people got.
Right.
Because like you had like Martin Lawrence dressing up as like a woman or
Right.
trying to like, kind of diminish what black culture is
Right.
in Hollywood. So he didn't like that. So that's why he never wanted to act.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so.
You got Madea doing it all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With her 25 Madea films.
Exactly.
But if you look at a lot of like actors, like Latino actors and black actors, when their first roles they get in is they're doing some,
Well,
they
us,
got it.
us Latinos, we all get like criminal. Like
Yeah,
roles. We
but
notice that it's, like,
right.
it's a lot
But
of,
if you look at
gangsters
like for
and stuff
example,
like
John Leguizamo, one of his first roles is like he had to be like a cross dresser. Remember that
Tu Wong
movie?
Fu.
that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like you got it. If you don't get the stereotype role, you're gonna get a role that's just gonna.
The only person I haven't seen
Sound
do that was Oscar Isaac. He was in
He's good.
yeah, he's really good. He was in Star Wars, and he was also
Oh,
he
yeah,
did
yeah.
this one indie joke called like Ex Machina,
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah.
yeah,
so
that
a
was
good movie.
good too.
Yeah.
I
So
saw that.
I haven't seen him like but then I guess he doesn't give out that Latino vibe also. So
Right,
maybe,
right.
He
maybe
also
we'll-
played some gangster movie
Yeah.
or something a couple years ago. I forget the title.
Yeah.
He played an Italian, so
You-
he has one of those looks where he can play.
whatever. Yeah,
Right.
he's
Whatever.
diverse.
Yeah.
That's
You guys seen the show on Netflix called Black Mirror?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You seen
That
it?
was just I just watched one of the episodes today.
Oh yeah,
What you
which
think?
one?
The one Waldo talk. A lot of people are saying that if you look at the Waldo episode,
Uh-huh.
it's kind of foreshadowing the whole Trump movement.
Right.
It's
Which episode was that?
What?
it's that show on Netflix called Black
No,
Mirror.
but
Yeah,
which,
but which
So
episode?
so Waldo was a guy in England where it was
the
like
puppet,
a
right?
puppet,
Yeah.
a blue bear.
Yeah.
And he like he just started cursing.
Right.
It was kind of like the anti-candidate versus the other ones.
Yeah.
So it was, and if you look at it,
Yeah.
that's that whole Trump movement
Right.
in a
Yeah,
sense.
That's why I
Yeah.
feel like we're in a bad episode of Black Mirror. yo.
Yeah.
That's true, dude.
Yeah.
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 That's
That show is dope and stuff.
Yeah, that show is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think my favorite episode it's the game one, where he goes into the haunted house.
Oh yeah.
Just none
Yeah,
of
that
it
one's
being,
sick.
none of it being real.
Right.
Yeah.
That one was crazy.
That show's dope.
Yeah. I like how they do it. So they this new season they introduced like more American actors.
Yeah.
The first
it
thing was all like
all
British and
stuff.
stuff.
Like that. Well, it is a BBC show, so.
Yeah. Oh, it was cool.
Did you see the Get Down?
I saw it.
What'd you guys think of that?
I liked it because it kind of showed you kind of like the roots of where hip hop came from. And it also I like the fact that they incorporated the whole disco because it was like during the same era.
Right.
Exactly.
So it touched on a lot. I thought the acting was great, and it just touched on a lot of different, topics.
Yeah.
They had a lot of good people in there.
Yeah.
Really good
yeah.
cast.
Yeah, good music and stuff.
Even the art style of how it's shot was
Yeah.
amazing. Like I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen The Great Gatsby. The guy who did that was the same.
Right. Oh,
same
yeah?
guy who directed that one.
Okay.
So the art style was off the chain. I like that.
Yeah. I feel like it didn't get that much
I didn't. Yeah, I felt like it was gonna be a lot.
reviews, people.
I felt like everyone was gonna start wearing like red Pumas and stuff, but
Yeah.
nobody did. So it's like,
Shaolin Fantastic.
yeah. So no,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I
Must have
feel.
missed
Yeah,
something
I
here.
feel like it wasn't. I don't know, talked about, reviewed about, and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't get that same like acceptance and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's strange.
I feel like for us, it's like since we're in the music scene,
Mhm.
we kind of have the mad respect of our like as far as how hip hop came into being and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as far as like an actual consumer, I don't think they really like. I don't know,
Right.
it just probably wasn't enjoyed as well.
Right. That's true.
Nah.
Did you guys ever watch this documentary called Rebel Kings?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one.
You have
Rebel
to see
Kings,
that.
though, yeah.
And
What's it
that
about?
that kind of it's about like the gangs in the Bronx.
Okay.
Like the Warriors.
Like the
basically.
Warriors,
Oh, okay.
but the
Real life.
true
Like the
story,
actual
like
story,
yeah.
like that whole
The,
meeting where all the gang members met together
That actually
to squash.
happened.
That actually
Yeah.
happened,
Oh wow.
and they like a boys and girls club up
Yeah.
in the Bronx.
Bronx.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and what was the gang in the that was in the Get Down? That was the actual gang and stuff.
Young Lords or no?
No.
No, the Savage,
The Savages,
the Savage Skulls or
yeah,
something.
the Savage
like that,
Skulls.
yeah.
Yeah. That's an actual gang and stuff like that.
So and when you watch that documentary, Rebel Kings, it'll touch on how hip hop came from that culture.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
talked about, how after when they squashed the beef, well, everyone was together and like they would do these parties, and that's where you kind of had the cool herks and
Yeah.
like hip hop came from that.
Yeah.
So, knowing how hip hop started into the time what we have now, what do you think is missing as far as Latin hip hop goes? Like, because you see how the evolution of how, for lack of a better term, black hip hop originated and evolved into what we have now. What do you think is stopping from going from what being inspired by Run DMC, by by Dr. Dre and all these guys, and still having that culture, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
almost the same culture, but yet I feel like hip hop has evolved more in the black community than it has in the Latin community.
I think for one and stuff, once we start categorizing, creating, calling it Latin hip hop and not just being hip hop and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, we start creating a
Like a
own
border. Yeah.
sort of say and stuff, and then within radio, there's always been that.
But then you look back in the '90s. We had this whole movement where hip hop was. You had Tempo, you had Vico C, you had Tony Touch, you had like all these guys.
No, there was a wave though.
Yeah,
A lot of people forget
exactly.
that there was a wave.
But then, like-
when a lot of Latin rappers was popular and stuff.
Yeah.
Like when Cypress Hill came out, they followed with
Yeah,
Psycho
Cypress
Realm,
Hill.
Delinquent Habits.
Yeah,
You know what I
Mellow Man
mean?
Ace,
Fat
stuff
Joe
like that, yeah.
and the Beatnuts, all of that. There was a wave and stuff like that. They haven't been ignored and whatnot. But like I said, hip hop is so universal now.
Yeah, but
You know.
you see hip hop in America is commercialized.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. See, that's the
Like
thing.
you hear,
yeah.
you go to clubs, you go to, you
Yeah.
hear it on the radio, whatever,
Yeah.
or you hear it on commercials,
Yeah.
whatnot. You hear about these artists, but you don't listen. When it comes to our demographic,
Right.
You don't hear about that with Latin hip hop. You hear more about reggaeton.
You know why?
You hear more of a Nicky Jam or a Daddy
Right,
Yankee
right.
or Jay Alvarez.
I think that's because also within Spanish media, they haven't been acceptance of hip hop and stuff.
But then it comes to the discussion of I don't think
Like, for
Latin
ex-
hip hop has actually
Well,
evolved to the point to
well,
be commercialized.
check this out. This one thing I've always wondered. Big Pun, the first Latin rapper go platinum. How come he was never featured on Don Francisco?
Because it wasn't. That's
That's my question. Why
Be-
didn't
because
Don
that's
Francisco
not-
open the doors for it?
because that wasn't a demographic. Because you think, okay, Big Pun, Fat Joe, all these guys who decided to do more of the English hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
kind of had they had people to cater to them, Plus, but during that time period where these guys started coming out, I guess maybe the population of Latinos wasn't as big as it is now, but there was. They catered more to where they grew up. Like they grew up in New York, or they grew up into these areas where, it was heavily influenced by a black community.
Right.
So they spoke to these people. But then you have guys who are coming up from different countries who aren't maybe as exposed to the black community, but still spit in Spanish. That doors haven't opened for them. You feel me? Like it's because now in this country we have. As far as the Latin market goes, there's so much money to be made, especially as far as commercializing hip hop or finding a way to do it. Because like reggaeton, you hear reggaeton. Reggaeton hasn't
But
changed.
reggaeton is a different genre of music.
I know, but it
Yeah.
has. But the thing is, like reggaeton could have been, hip hop could have been as big as reggaeton now is now if it would have evolved at the time period. But then somewhere along the lines where Playero and all these guys came out, it went from hip hop and they just split it that way. Because and then you had reggaeton influence.
Nah, like I look at it like this. I look at
because
reggaeton is the young stepsister of hip hop.
No,
Because hip hop
you
comes
have-
from reggae, has a lot of reggae influence,
as
a lot
far as
of
producing of it,
funk and things like that.
as far as producing
Reggaeton
of it,
just,
but you look at the artists who came out. Let's see, when you hear reggaeton, you look at the artists as far as history goes. The artists that came, like Tego Calderon, all these, Tempo, all these guys, Vico C, their roots were in hip hop.
Right.
Like they were hip hop artists, and when reggaeton and its first evolution or the first rendition of what reggaeton is was more of hip hop artists hopping on dance hall beats. That's what it was. Or
But
beats
reggaeton did the
yeah.
same thing. They
that's
they
what
sampled
reggaeton
beats.
is.
Yeah.
that's what reggaeton is.
Yeah.
So now we got to a period where now how hip hop is what we call mumble rap or whatever. We got
But
reggaeton sounds
that's-
like
All right, the mumble rap stuff. This is my view on that. You gotta remember, there is so many subcategories under hip hop. You have mumble rap, you have conscious rap, you have gangster rap, you have Christian rap. You know what I mean? You have Spanish rap.
No, I
that's
get-
like saying, well, how come Christian rap doesn't get the same popularity?
No.
But then actually, there
yeah,
it is.
no,
it's
and
in,
I
you
get
know
it,
what
but it's like I think I'm talking more on the base of making money off of it because like there's a lot of like I said, there's a lot of potential. As far as like if you look at Spain, all the Spanish artists that they're doing like what their hip hop or whatever,
Right.
They're making tons of money out there.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's like, but you know, we don't have that.
Right, because I think the hip hop in the United States is not viewed upon like how hip hop is viewed around the world. The world actually looks at the United States like, what happened with y'all in hip hop? Like, what happened and stuff? They actually frown upon and stuff. You got to remember, hip hop arrived to Europe probably before it arrived to certain parts of the United States. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When the Africa Bambaataa, the Curtis Blow and stuff, you know what I mean? They did some of the first tours. They had went to Europe, France, and things like that before they even touched these rural areas and whatnot. You know what I mean? So these folks saw growing hip hop and stuff, you know, movies, Star Wars and things like that hit certain
Well, we saw hip hop
international markets before here.
I mean, you're not gonna tell me hip hop here in
Yeah.
the United States is not as big. As
No,
it is in the other
well, no. Here it's like you said. Here it's commercial. You know what I mean? Here it's
but it's always been commercial.
right. Well, not really.
I think that like if you use DC for an example, and you live in this area, you know that for a long time go-go was king.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think in a lot of like Latin American countries and like in the Hispanic culture, Latino culture, what have you, you have salsa, you have merengue, you have cumbia, you have tejan. So I think that like an artist, for instance, say like Wale, when he was trying to gain momentum, kind of incorporated go-go into his music, into his rap. It helped him. And I think with a lot of Latino rappers, you know, you have all these, maybe it's the same situation where maybe you have to use influence a lot of these music styles into your music to help you kind of get out there.
And I see where that's coming from too. But then if you go talk to these guys who are coming out, right? If you like an artist that first comes out, they want to be reggaeton artists. You know, it's like you know. And,
I think that's
and I feel like,
all based upon your influence, what you want to do.
I mean, because it's like, and I guess it is to a certain extent, but like if you all these, honestly speaking, all these guys who are coming or from this area. Let's put this area right now. All these guys who we hear about coming out doing reggaeton, it's like one thing they do is because reggaeton, you can make, well, if you're good or if you can get into the market, you can make money off of reggaeton.
Right.
You can't make money off Latin hip hop.
Well, this is the thing too. Reggaeton is played more because it's more accepted by DJs compared to hip hop.
Then that's where we come crossover. You don't hear like in the black communities, you don't hear them playing something else that's not hip hop.
Right.
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 So why can that be the same in the Latin market?
It's Rosca.
Do you sometimes make? Well, you can make an argument like maybe you can fault some DJs, right, for not playing the music and not getting it out. You know, like if people are making dope music,
right,
dope Latin, you know, hip hop, or having a DJ's not playing it, do you fault the DJ?
Yeah, I think the DJs. I personally think DJs in the area, they only play what they think the people want to hear. They're afraid to break records, and that's why there's not that many famous DJs that come from this area.
But then you're talking about, but it's also looked at not just this area. If you go outside, of that, then it's the same
grab
way.
any local scene. It's the same thing. It comes to the DJs. People hear music, you know what I mean? It's mostly through a DJ. If you go to a club, you know what I mean? It's a DJ.
Because you know, we don't have. Like in the Latin market, we don't have a Drake, we don't have a J. Cole or a Kendrick Lamar. We don't, you know. It's like you know, we don't have guys.
No, I think we do have them. It's just we
don't have enough of it because like
we don't have enough DJs to play them.
I guess. I mean, that could be.
That's all it is the DJs.
Where the DJs at?
Yeah.
Exactly. Where the true DJs? What's going on?
But even like in Latin music, like all right, like So we went to a spot this weekend, right? Should we give the name of it?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, all right. Yeah, I'll give him a name. I've been kind of like high critical on this place because I feel like the drinks are overpriced and
it's everywhere.
Yeah. Well, but So anyway, so go to this spot. I don't want to give them name and stuff because we're not.
Is it in DC?
Yeah, DC, a Latin club and stuff. But the music that I heard, it was the most generic Latin music that you hear and stuff. It's nothing. They didn't break any record. I was hoping to hear something new. They're like, yo, this is cool. Let me put out my Shazam and try to figure out what song this is. I didn't hear any of that. You hear your typical.
But that's me with reggaeton. Period. Like it's just like because
No, but this was the Latin music, genuine stuff. You know what I
That's
mean?
what it is.
The salsa music is like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna go hear this, the same salsa song. Okay, here's another El Preso, the same salsa songs. It's like playing me
Yeah.
something that I don't hear and stuff.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But don't you feel also too that could be like as what we listen like pop for example now or
Uh-huh.
hip hop now? Don't you feel like all that? I feel like we're kind of living in that time now where it's everything's so generic.
Right, and that's
So
why I
it
say
kinda
that
has
it's
to play
like.
into it.
I blame the DJs. The DJs are afraid to
No, but
play
then you
records.
see guys like let's say Young and May for example who's
Uh-huh.
breaking out and it's just like she's getting attention from like Sway and like all these people like
Uh-huh.
because she's coming out with originality like the black culture embraces that.
Uh-huh.
You know, like Latin people don't embrace that, and it's like because I feel like Latin hip hop could be a lot bigger than
Absolutely.
than what it is.
Yeah. Again, it goes to the
And I'm not
gate.
trying to-
There's gatekeepers. You know what I mean? There's gatekeepers in the industry.
But like today, man, I just think we live like in a unique society now, especially with social media. Like you could bypass the record labels nowadays.
you could.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have digital distribution. You
Right.
can set up like a boutique like
Yeah, but
label and
but
like.
nobody's
Yeah.
done that. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
But
you know,
it's there.
Mhm.
It's
You know, it's
there.
like you don't- there's not.
It could be done.
No, you're right. There's not a label there that represents like good music, like in Latin community and stuff. And the labels that have been there, they've really jerked these folks and stuff. Then you also got to remember, payola is way bigger in Latin America and stuff. That's like
Yeah.
it's not like over here. Here it's kind of stricted and stuff, but over there it's
Yeah,
real
yeah.
and stuff. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you, and I've seen it a lot with artists that I've worked with in the
Yeah.
past and stuff like that. But
But
Yeah.
but like as far as like, have you seen the new Future Drake video?
see, and that's okay.
I've-
And that's another issue.
Yeah,
I have.
yeah.
It's like okay, you got artists like Migos, right?
Uh-huh.
You got artists like Drake and Future coming out with the Mexican flag and stuff like that. You got Kanye West coming with the life
Hell,
of Pablo. It's like
You had
Yeah.
fucking
It's like
French
these-
Montana
Yeah.
and Drake film a video in Dominican Republic
it's
and
like
use fake Spanish names.
You have
Yeah.
these like artists that when we can be doing these things,
Uh-huh.
they're doing it.
Right.
Right, so it's like they're kind of like I don't want to, I don't want to sound like a hate monger or anything, but they're kind of like
The Trump came out.
yeah, Trump Nation. But they're like jagging our style. You feel me? It's like
See, I don't look at it as like they're giant size because
No,
they're,
no,
they're
I
us
don't
and
think
stuff.
that. I mean, I know he's saying that, but I
Yeah.
think that he's saying that these are things that Latin like hip hop guys could be using, and it like
Or could
if
be
you have
marking off.
right because if you have American hip hop guys and
Right.
rappers doing it, why can't Latin hip hop guys do
Right,
it? You know what I
right.
mean? And embrace
Like
it.
it's,
And
right, yeah.
Because obviously it's something if you got all these you got Drake and all these guys doing it.
Yeah.
because you got people like embracing like these guys, Pablo Escobar, Pablo
Right,
Picasso.
they all
These are
rapping
Latin-
Narcos and
These are
stuff,
Latin
yeah.
figures. So
Saying
you know
the
that-
Future shouting out fucking Chapo saying
Yeah.
God
Right.
blessing all the
Yeah.
trap niggas.
Yeah.
You know, this is our, this is what makes up what our culture is. Like important parts of our culture is what hip hop now is kind of marketing off of.
Yeah, but you know what? I heard an interview of I want to say it was Salam. Why am I? Was it Salam Remy? No, the dude that he produced a lot for Nas. He did a lot of musical production for Nas.
I don't think
He
that
helped
name rings
produce
a
the
bell.
Fugees. What was the girl that died? The Amy
Amy
White.
Winehouse?
Yeah, he produced her music and stuff. And this dude's like a important producer and stuff for music. He helped Nas a lot.
Yeah.
He helped him out, right? But check this out. Now he's working with a new group called No Panties. Who do you think's in that group?
I don't know.
Joel Ortiz,
Mm-hmm.
Bodega Bams, and this other girl. I forgot her name and stuff. I'm Bert. I'm sorry, y'all. But yo, it's an all Latin group,
Yeah.
And well, not they're all Latinos that rap and stuff, and they all got skills. You know
yeah,
what
I mean, like, but
So,
let's
but
think
now they
about
got
it. Joel Ortiz has been in the game for how long? I mean, Joel he's a monster of an
Yeah.
artist. Like he's amazing, but like Joel Ortiz had there was a time period in early 2000s where he was just like he popped off, but then just disappeared. And it's like and you see that a lot with Latin artists or rappers that come onto the scene. It's like they come onto the scene, then they just like die out.
I think that has to do with the labels that they get signed to, because the labels decide how they get marketed, and not only that, but we may think, oh, that they disappeared. No, it's not. These dudes are on tour.
No, I'm
Like,
saying
they're
as far as the public eye.
Right,
goes,
right.
but
Well,
it's-
again, you go on tour and you don't hear like Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cypress Hill, yeah.
You look at a Cypress Hill page when they go on Facebook Live. These dudes are performing in front of hundreds of thousands of people and things like that. Still to this day, they rock crowds larger than whoever's number one on your local radio station, yo. You know what I mean? So it's just that's what it is. Is that some folks they go on tours.
Do you think that the language that the music is made in, as far as when Latinos are rapping, do you think it's better in Spanish? Do you think English? Like mixture? Like what's
Right.
your perception?
All right, my perception is this. It's also got to do a lot with production, DJs and stuff, access to the beats. You know what I mean? You got to remember that the dudes that rap in English, they get access to better production and stuff like that. The Latino artists, they don't have great A&Rs. They don't have access to great production and stuff like that. And if they do, you got to jack somebody's beat.
And I know it's a matter of preference, but I guess like my question is to help it come out, to help it reach its full potential, right? To come out and really be what it can. Like, what do you think? Because you as a musician, like, what do you think?
Well, to help it
See, our views are going to be a little biased because I look at it like I've been working with so many artists, and I'm currently working with one who we do Latin pop, right? So I've seen the business side of it. Like
say the artist's name, give her a shout out.
I work with Jason Cerda. Right?
Okay.
Shout out Jason Cerda.
So I've seen the industry side of it, as how things work and how whatever, and I've seen Will Sencillo and Fuego when I used to record them. I saw all aspects of it, and I look at it not as a fan, but as like as someone that admires the industry, right? So Latin hip hop, I love Latin hip hop to death because this is one of the things I started listeing to. Like I would listen to Chicano rap, right? That was my exposure to.
Can we clarify what is Latin hip hop?
Latin hip hop is hip hop rapped in Spanish.
Okay, so that's hip hop en español.
Yeah.
Because
or a Latin rapper,
whatever,
rapping
right?
in English.
Yeah.
No?
Okay,
well, I call it. I think it's
for
best.
lack of a better term,
It's better call it hip hop en
hip-hop,
español,
whatever.
because if you call Latin hip hop, all right, that right there is already created a barrier.
Okay.
Because right there you already created the Latin wall in front of hip hop. You know what I mean? What does that do? Put that on a club flyer, which a lot of promoters have done. They'll put Latin and then hip hop. So then people thinking, oh, I'm going to go see Latin hip hop, but in reality, no, you're going to go hear
So what's
Latin
the difference
music
between
and hip hop.
what's the difference? Even okay, so putting
So if you
rap
say
in español and
right,
and
so it's
hip,
better.
and-
Okay, so if you put rap in español,
Yeah, so-
you're clarifying. Okay, you're gonna hear rap music, and it's gonna be in español. You know what I'm saying?
It's
It
the same thing. You
identifies
put
it.
Latin hip hop though. You're not putting
It's
reggaeton
not,
or
because
salsa.
Latin
It's like-
is okay. Because you gotta remember what is Latin again. Latin is an old language, and if you say what's a Latino, Brazilians you speak Portuguese. Portuguese is languages that derive from Latin and
So is
stuff.
Spanish, though.
So is Creole and stuff.
but Spanish is
so it's French.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's Italian, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it's like it's not good to say Latin hip hop and stuff. It's just better to call
So
it's
why
hip-hop
do
en
we
español.
call ourselves Latino then? Like you're talking about all these markets that call the Spanish markets that call us Latinos. So
Right, because it's to generalize us.
How about raperos, man?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just keep it, make it easy,
But
man.
either way, like I feel there's this divide between how the OGs want hip hop to go and how the new school want hip hop to go. So most in English hip hop we don't see that. we don't see that divide. I mean, we do have those people. It's like, oh yeah, I like whatever.
Well,
but then you have people who are like, yo, I fuck with Kendrick
Right.
Lamar, I fuck
Okay.
with whatever.
Here's another thing that also why it's also a little harder now and stuff. Before there was a thing called a mixtape. A mixtape was a music
Yeah,
mix that
uh-huh.
was actually on an actual cassette or on a CD that was shared and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you were able to share music that way. Today you share something on social media
How many?
and it's forgotten
Okay,
and not
but
everybody
how many?
listens to it.
How did reggaeton come into being? It was by
Same thing,
mixtapes.
mixtapes,
Okay, exactly.
exactly,
So
yeah.
why couldn't we do that with?
Not enough.
Rap en español.
There weren't DJs. There weren't enough DJs. That's what it is. Everybody wants to be a rapper. Nobody wants to be a DJ.
That's
know
true
what I
too.
mean?
That's part of the
what it
community
is.
too. That where I think
Yeah.
narcissism comes into to
Yeah.
play, where everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Yo, I want to be in the spotlight, and I don't want to do the work in the
Yeah.
background." But
Yo, we can get deep into this
Yeah,
subject.
you really
yo.
can.
Yeah.
You really
it's deep,
can.
It's deep.
But like you
Well,
were saying, like just, I for me, I fought a lot. Just DJs in general, like you said, you go out, you go hear generic music, and it doesn't even matter the place. You can go to any place.
Yeah.
You go to another place, you know, and the DJ be playing a lot of bachata, merengue, and
But it's always the
just
same bachata
Yeah,
song.
but no, and this DJ will play more
whatever.
straight up like DR
Mm.
music as far as like the
Right.
true, not the bullshit you hear on the radio,
Right,
but
the
the more
típico and stuff.
the typical.
Yeah, 'cause I've gone to
bachata.
Dominican spots and they'll play music. I'm like,
But
yo, I've been.
They're
in-
afraid to step out and give exposure to
Right.
a new artist.
But I've been to this Dominican club that was in Hyattsville. I don't know if you remember the name of it. I
In
can't- I can't-
Hyattsville,
Yeah, it was in
probably mi
Hyattsville.
patio.
Patio.
Mi
yeah,
patio,
yeah, mi
yeah.
patio. I've been there, and one day had a DJ, and he was playing like Dominican music, like merengue típico,
There's some good
rapeado and
ones.
stuff.
There's some good
And
ones.
I was like, yo, this music is dope. Yo, and all Dominican, and it was, bachata was rarely played and stuff. But then he did play it, and it'll be like, oh, snap, this song was like, all right, I dig it and stuff. You know, he was breaking records there, though.
Yeah, like on the show we had with Paquito.
Mhm.
I don't know if he touched on this. I think he touched on this. He said that when he brought Erika here to visit DC, and he took him out to this one place in DC, and he said, "Yo, estoy mareado. The guy's playing the same fucking shit. Like it's
Yeah.
no, you know,
Yeah.
it's not like Miami. He said
Right.
where it's different. You know,
Right.
like here it's just bachata, bachata,
Yeah.
bachata, bachata,
Yeah.
merengue, merengue. You know,
Yeah.
and it's
But then I feel too like that falls into part of the culture because I've seen how these DJs out here there's no DJ in this area.
That's no.
There's no DJ in this area that says, you know what, I want a headline. Like I want to
Right,
be the
right.
guy that fucking
My
starts
question
is
is-
like, you see in Miami, Las Vegas, and
Yeah.
LA. You
That's
see
what
these-
you
Yo,
have.
DC,
Yeah.
yo, DC is the only
what
place.
you have is pone música. Is what
Yeah.
you have.
Yo,
Exactly.
yo, but this is the thing. DC is the only area where the promoters are more famous than the DJs.
That's true too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go to New York, New
and-
York. Name
and like-
New York promoters.
And
But I can name you hundreds of DJs.
And what blows me
That's
too is
true.
like, what blows me too, like I saw like, cause when I record these reggaeton guys, I'm like, it's like, oh dog, we're gonna open up for Coscuela's new artist. I'm like, who the fuck is bringing these niggas new artists fucking here to DC? Why can't these niggas put on artists from here?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, why am I gonna go to a club, pay $20 or $30 to support a nigga that I've never heard of from God knows where?
Right.
Like at least start putting niggas on
Right.
start
Yeah.
making these niggas headline and stuff like that. But there's none of that. Like
Yeah, yeah.
In the
there's-
underground scene, the ciphers and that stuff. Do you see a lot of Latinos, raperos?
there's a bunch.
Yeah,
there's
there's
a
a
bunch.
lot, yo. There's
a bunch.
There's dope dudes and stuff like that. Oh, I'll play your music. You
Yeah.
be like,
There's a bunch. And I'm like,
I mean, they got bars, yo. Yeah, they got bars against a lot of your average American dudes and stuff like that.
But in this area, I think it does come a lot to production because there's no
Yeah.
producers when it
Yeah.
comes to Latin hip hop. Because all these guys like Spanish rappers that rap out here, they get their beats from like SoundCloud or like from YouTube, or they go
Mm-hmm.
to a guy like a guy who does beats for like black rappers.
They got
and
Jack a
then
beat basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have our
We
own
don't.
sound.
There's
and
no
stuff.
guy that.
See, and that's the key, man.
Yeah,
It's
the
about
sound.
having your own sound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
original sound.
So it's, I don't know. It's just For me, I feel like that. You know, it's just it's at a spot where I know it can be a lot more original, a lot better than what reggaeton.
But again, what are we speaking right now? In English. You know what I mean? You got a lot of kids out here que ellos ni saben hablar español. If you know español, it's because your abuelita or your mom taught you it because unless you were going to the country and things like that.
Mi primer idioma.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Si no hablas español, that's the thing. So you got a lot of kids here there's a lot of Hispanics in this area, but they are, you gotta look at the generation. It's a lot of things.
Well, not really, because
se acercó a mí primero. Lo dudé en un instante, aunque no fuera duradero. Me arriesgué por entero, como un aventurero. Ahora doy gracias al de arriba por hacerlo verdadero. A veces voy de viajero, tras de mensajero. Siempre feliz, como con un mañanero. Siempre sincero y nunca traicionero. Yo me siento un guerrillero, hecho de acero. La MUSIC.
But you know what? I think it's gonna change with the trap music because you know. No, they can't do it right. But check this out, yo. Like, so when you get a chance, go to YouTube and bike, bike stuff. There's a bike in Spain. They did about one the trap culture in Spain. Yeah. Shout out to him, but he's been going feedback as my young people. But I think the trap is gonna help because right now if mumble rap is accepted but check this, if mumble rap is accepted and it's in English and nobody understands it, why wouldn't they listen to it in Spanish?
Like, no offense, but like usually that theory on how Latin hip or Spanish hip hop can be big is bullshit because it's lyrics.
Right.
With lyrics, him and his boy teamed up to Korean guy. He went up to New York. Whenever they Korean guys, you have Downfounded in LA, you have these are green people coming out and making the white people
Right.
There is a market for it.
There is.
But nobody wants to pursue it. Is what it is.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like even though as dope as Immortal Technique is, I think he was the death for Spanish.
That's a hard statement.
No, I mean, I feel like he's dope, but he went against like, oh fuck the labels, I don't need the label, I don't need this and that. So I feel like that kind of influenced the younger generation. Be like, you know what, I could do this shit. Fuck everybody else. And it kind of hurt the industry.
There's a lot of there were a lot of artists that got signed to labels and stuff. Chingo Bling signed a huge label deal with Atlantic. With Atlantic Records and things like that. You know what I mean?
So I think what's honestly hurting Latinos, man, is we're just so influenced by what the fuck we hear on the radio. Mm-hmm. And I think that
they need to listen to our podcast and wake up.
That's exactly where I was going to go with this, is that I think that this format here, podcasting and, the death of the radio is imminent. I think it's, maybe it's not going to die completely, but it's not going to be as strong as it was. And I think that that's going to benefit, you're going to see a lot of music, art forms benefit, hip hop and all that, because it's not going to be what the fuck I hear on the radio. And hopefully we get some fucking DJs with some fucking cojones, man, to be out here and, like you said, be the headline and break a record, man. Like you have power as a DJ. Yeah. Play some shit, man,
Yeah.
That's true.
And that'll set you apart from the next fucking. Right. If I'm a club DJ here in DC and I'm playing the same shit that this fucker's playing and that fucker, like, where's my originality? What makes me different?
It just and the thing is, it just takes one person to do it. Because it's like one person to break out and be like, yo, I'm different, and then I'm making money off doing this, or I'm making a living off doing this.
They're all robots and stuff.
Then all the other guys is like, hold on, this motherfucker just did, what the fuck did he just do? Right. And then they're going to try doing something else themselves, you know? But
and I think it starts with everybody, not even even just a DJ. Like you
That's
said,
true,
DC's a fucking promoter town, quote
Yeah.
unquote. You know, but fucking a promoter with some fucking balls, the same shit. Why you
Yeah.
would make a place in the same? You competing. Like it used to be it didn't used to be that many salsa clubs here in DC. Now they're fucking a dime a dozen or whatever, you know. So like, have a place where it's original, where you're gonna bring people, where you're playing different kind of music.
Right.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
this shit will work.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you got all kind of people that come here and stuff.
That's true.
Maybe it's starting to cater to the tourists. I don't know.
And the club owner doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Club owner,
club
as
owner,
long as they're
as long as-
selling the drinks,
Right.
And
As long as they're
that's
making
it.
money,
They're
yeah.
making money. I don't give a fuck.
You
You
don't care
can
what
play
you
Disney
play.
music
Yeah.
all goddamn
Yeah.
night. You
If
know
it's
what I
hot,
mean?
then it sells music.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because you look, all these fucking niggas that they bring down, Guanabanas,
Yeah.
all these old school niggas who are not really relevant anymore.
Right.
It's easy money for them.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because niggas are, I used to listen back to the middle school. Fuck, I'm gonna go see them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like easy fucking money for them.
Right.
You know, and they're cheaper shit to come down.
Yeah.
And whatever. But like, instead of doing that, why not just hype up one of the artists here? You feel me? It's like, yo,
Yeah.
you know, that way you pay the artist whatever.
Right.
And be like, yo, here we give you $1,000 and
Yeah.
you make $5,000.
Yeah,
off
do
of it,
more
you know?
showcases
Yeah.
or something and stuff. Yeah, but, and do them right, be original. That's what's needed and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what I say. It all goes back to the DJs. You know, sad to say. You know, there's not enough DJs here in the DC area. Like I said. You know.
Yeah. Everybody wants to be that
Yeah.
bachata DJ or
Yeah.
whatever.
That all plays into the Latin music.
Which
and
is
stuff.
cool.
Which is cool,
Which
but-
is
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it's cool.
but
Nothing wrong with all the genres of music and
At
stuff.
the end of the day, man, like, yeah, be different.
yeah.
Don't be afraid to be different,
yeah.
man.
At the end of the day, okay, check this out. We all know who DJ, I'm sure you heard DJ Tiesto, Steve
Of
Aoki,
course.
right?
Aoki, yeah.
Tiesto's a fucking millionaire.
Yeah,
Right,
he's a
right.
fucking legend, yeah.
What kind of music do they play?
Yeah,
Techno.
Techno,
hip-hop,
right?
EDM.
The EDM music, right? What do they do?
They make their own music.
But I'm saying how? Like, where do they make their money from?
DJ.
DJing where?
Vegas.
Vegas,
Miami,
huge venues,
Everywhere.
festivals though,
Festivals,
right?
Yeah.
Nah.
Name a here.
not
Check
just
this out,
festivals.
huh?
Not just festivals.
Well, yeah, they do a lot of stuff though.
They do
They do
fucking
private
clubs, they
parties.
do-
Yeah, you know, for
But they're stars.
Right,
Like, you
they're
pay.
stars.
You
Okay.
pay to
No,
have
it-
right,
Tiesto
right.
play
No,
for
have
you.
you
And,
seen-
and
have you
now
seen
hold
those-
on, hold on, check this. I'm about to mind blow y'all, yo. Check this out. EDM music. You hear that on the radio?
No, not like that.
You don't, right?
Yeah.
Like I
Latin music.
think there's one station, I'm not gonna name them, that
Okay.
does like an hour on Fridays.
Right. Latin music. Do you hear that on the radio?
Yeah.
All the fucking time.
How come there's no huge Latin DJ that does those kind of numbers and stuff?
How about that?
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Real talk. Latin music is just as popular. Gets people to dance. Does all of that stuff. How come there's no DJ that's doing that? Name me the most famous Latin DJ. You know what I mean? That does festival. Yo, we talking about we got like what 30 some countries, and you're gonna tell me that there's no
I mean, you're right. But
famous DJs? That's what it says.
Most of those in America we don't. But I know there's
Even in Latin America.
in Spain there's a bunch
Oh, yeah.
because EDM is so.
But they do EDM music. I'm talking about Latin
Yeah, yeah.
music,
Oh,
like
no,
a
no,
DJ
yeah, yeah.
that goes festival.
maybe back.
It travels? No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
travels,
no.
No, fuck no.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yo,
but then
but
But
also-
why?
La Conquista is real.
That's true, bro.
That's true too.
You know what
No,
I'm
but then
saying?
also too, like we like I say, DJs like EDM for example, like because one thing I watch, I follow music as a whole. Like
Mm-hmm.
I want to know like for me like I'm curious about how Steve Aoki came into, the game or whatever. Like I like knowing about this.
Right,
stuff.
right.
But you keep okay. All the hot DJs mostly come from Vegas, right? Because Vegas is such a hot market
Mm-hmm. Right.
for these guys. And if you can't make it in like New York, Miami, Vegas, especially Vegas, or in LA, you have no chance of being a DJ,
Right.
right? So these guys that travel, like if you watch the Steve Aoki
The documentaries. I've been meaning to check it out.
check that one out.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one's dope.
He's the son of Benny Hanna.
Yeah. His
yeah,
dad
yeah.
started being hunt. He traveled to Ibiza,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they went out there, and he went out there, and he was just like, they didn't want to fuck with him. They're just like, yo, we don't like your style of DJing here. Fuck it, right? So he went, reinvented himself,
Mhm.
right? Reinvented himself. He's like, all right. He went to these clubs and was like, yo, let me see how these niggas are doing out here, right? Reinvented himself. He's like, you know what, I can do this shit better. Boom. Went back home, started practicing his set. Next year he came out, and now motherfucker plays like 10 shows, 20 shows a year in Ibiza.
I think I heard about this.
Yeah, and Steve Aoki is one of he broke records for the most traveled musician there is. He does 400 shows a year.
Right.
Yeah. So and if you watch the documentary, it tells you just EDM. There's such a big market. There's if it's for them. It's if you're hot, you're in. Anywhere you want to go, you're in. If you're not, then no one's ever gonna fuck with you.
Right.
It's just getting into that niche.
Right. Right.
And I feel like you're saying, the DJs out here don't have that niche.
Yeah.
It's even if you're whack, and you have a DJ friend that's hot, he'll be like, yo, I'll help you out.
And,
And
to go back to what we were talking about earlier in the Get Down, I don't remember if y'all remember, it was a powerful scene in there where they backdoored the fucking label. Who'd they go to?
The DJ.
The fucking DJ in the gay club.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With the record.
Yeah.
And it blew up. The disco blew up in the gay scene, and it pushed the album.
That's what I said. What was the Get Down all about? Following the DJ, yo. Who had the better sound system?
Basically.
And DJ. That's all it is, dog.
Not sure.
You know what I'm saying? But that goes to show you the brainwash is real. You know what I mean?
Trump Nation.
Trump Nation.
Yeah, but hopefully, this Trump stuff wakes people up, and
that's what it's about.
you know what I
bro.
mean?
That's what it's about.
People have been asleep for so long, and I think they're gonna wake up. They're gonna realize that
I think it's starting.
certain products, things have been marketed to you for the benefits of political and the people that back these political parties, and I think people are gonna wake up and they're gonna realize that, yo, you know what I mean? I have a mind of my own. I don't have to go.
I have to follow somebody.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't have to follow what you do. I can now think for myself and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have to live that stereotype that was programmed to me or whatever and stuff.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? Yeah.
Shit.
Or accepted and whatever,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope.
So I think we're well over an hour now.
Yeah. Good show and stuff, yo.
Good show. I like this show.
Yeah. So next week we're going to have guests and stuff.
Okay.
I'm not going to mention it now and stuff. Make sure y'all tune in to next week. This is the MicroOnda podcast show. Yo host Cero Mundo, Johnny Quest, M.A. Yeah. So, and make sure you guys subscribe, drop a comment, give us a review. Let us know what you guys think. Also hit us up on social media as well at check the MicroOnda. Any last words, guys?
Vote. Vote. DJs, stop being pussies.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Stay motivated.
Let's start a movement, everyone. Let's get out here and make this thing happen.
Yeah. Instead of grab the pussy, stop being a pussy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man up, yo. Salud. Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.
Let's go, vámonos.
Catch me on the corner, tranquilo fumando un blunt o dos, si ando con Delfón, joseando con la cuestión, mercancía en el pantalón. Camino atento que si viene lo suelto, soy experto en esa situación. Me puedes ver con una mami diferente a diario, carita linda y un tremendo culazo del diablo. Bebiendo en el escenario con raperos famosos, hablando de negocio con dominicanos peligrosos. Gasto cuarto con mi socio. La vida de Juan es así, mixeo mis versos con ritmo y me convierto en MC. Entro en tu mente y te manejo desde ahí. Hago que prendas el joint y que me escuches a mí. Hot shit. Hey son, you feeling when I speak. The most mother strictly ass rappers here. Puedes verme con bombón y en la chimba chequeando un beat o escuchando al bootcamp click. Most defo tal y cual es. Mis sueños come true when it's lit. Of course I'm gonna be a rich and watch me Guinness and a bitch. I climb when I smoke some trees. Hey, yo, it's true shit. Callejero music. Check. Me muevo con sigilo. Me copian el estilo. Al año me fumo un kilo. Sal a la calle y dilo. Bits aniquilo. Tengo mis propios gestos. Mi estilo suena viejo pero fresco. Let's go. Vivo aconsejando al tigre, si eres capo sé invisible. Sé que nunca seré libre y en el rap no invento. Valoro el tiempo, pero no lo suficiente. Y siempre tengo a mi gente en la mente, téngalo presente. Soy el director del tiempo en mi interior y por eso selecciono lo mejor. Esa flor, aquel olor, ese sabor pa' todo el mundazo amor. El old school de Nueva York, el callejero basketball world. Si me ve con manet de pelo tengo todo pagado. Anda con un tipo al lado, casi siempre armado. Empresario de la calle que tienen todo controlado. Nunca los han agarrado, que se mueven con cuidado. You hear what I'm speaking about, manito, true shit. Callejero music right now. You know what I'm speaking about. Apex, true shit. Callejero music. Hey yo, I do what I do, cause I live in the hood, cause I hustle in the hood, cause I'm coming from the hood. It's what I do, it's what I do, and it's true. Hey yo, I do what I do, cause I live in the hood, cause I hustle in the hood, cause I'm coming from the hood. It's what I do, it's what I do, and it's true.
Gracias por escuchar nuestro podcast. Adiós, come mierda.